Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So I noticed this is interesting considering the news we got the other day with regards to Binance now kind of amalgamating all their USD stablecoin pairings, providing auto liquidity or however they put it, taking it out of the coins that they're not going to support any longer and kind of automatically shifting that into some of the coins that they will be supporting. Now, BUSD is a Binance specific stablecoin. And it's interesting to note this, that BITRUE is also launching a new XRP trading pair with BUSD to XRP. So if you're over there at Binance and Binance has decided to auto liquidate your stablecoins, whether it's USDC or whatever, into BUSD, now you can actually trade BUSD on the BITRUE exchange, and it's available now as an XRP trading pair too. So Binance and BITRUE are two exchanges that I personally like to use. I have a BITRUE affiliate link in the description of the video. I like to use it as a secondary exchange. I don't use it for my primary trading, but there are a lot of pairings on BITRUE, a lot of exotic cryptocurrencies, I guess you could say, in Binance for the same reasons. A lot of different cryptocurrencies, altcoins that you might not be able to find anywhere else. So I found this to be an interesting update, and I think I know why they're doing it. If we're starting to see a world where we're going to see less and less USD, particularly USD pegged stablecoins, we are going to need on-ramps and off-ramps for those particular coins. And so, there are going to be a handful of coins that are going to be regulated. The stablecoin issue, I think, is the one that is, the first one that's coming to a head in the United States specifically. The regulation is going to be key, and so now the BUSD XRP trading pair is going to be available on BITRUE. So some interesting news there. I wanted to thank XRP Crypto Wolf for pointing that out. Now this one, guys, from Michael Branch. Are you surprised that the traditional banking industry is suggesting this? More crypto businesses and innovation should be moved into the traditional banking industry, at least according to some bankers and a former bank regulator. I am not surprised whatsoever. So this is what they said. Here's a quote. The federal government doesn't want basically unregulated third parties basically creating their own currency. This coming from Gene Ludwig, a former top U.S. banking regulator who now runs a regulatory consulting firm. And that's what Gene Ludwig said at a Banking Policy Institute conference in New York. Whoops, close that. Instead of experimenting with central bank digital currencies, regulators should allow banks to play more aggressively in the crypto market. If we're going to allow crypto at all, the banking industry is the right place to do it because it is regulated. So the regulations of the banking industry, however, on the same note, suggesting that banks should be allowed to dabble into cryptocurrency a lot more. This is an emerging asset class, and I think a lot of people are starting to realize this. The institutional money want to get into cryptocurrency. The market cap right now under $1 trillion, and we have recently seen that slip over the last couple of days now. We're sitting right now at about 9 billion, okay? So we have come down quite a bit since that high. It's about down 70% in total. The entire crypto market's down about 70%. This is the total market cap, by the way. Institutional money is waiting on the sidelines. The comments come in the midst of a winter for crypto markets, with the asset prices slumping and increased scrutiny of digital assets and the firms that deal in them by financial regulators. Thomas Michaud, president and CEO of the investment bank Keefe, Bruyette and Woods, contrasted the financial performance of banks amid rising interest rates and other economic adversity this year with that of the failures of multiple cryptocurrency startups. So here's the opposing viewpoint. I think this should be inside the banking industry more, he said, because of the regulatory framework around banking. Okay, so he's just agreeing on that point. But regulators might view increased exposure to digital assets wary, cautioned Jeremiah Norton, managing director of Chain Bridge Partners. So all these regulators, obviously, they are seeing it being beneficial, I guess, to their benefit if the cryptocurrency industry is within the banking sector. Of course, we are going to get opposing reactions against this. The crypto industry has been developing on its own and I think can be treated as its own beast in a lot of ways. And I have a feeling that, the guys over there at Binance and FTX and Coinbase and all those other huge, the bigger cryptocurrency exchanges, they would probably beg to differ because they want a slice of the pie as well. Anyway, wanted to thank Michael just for posting that. And another one here from Michael. I kind of glazed over this the other day with regards to that interview with, what was his name? Anthony Welfare, talking about central bank digital currencies with regards to the Royal Monetary Authority of Bhutan and the Republic of Palau, which in yesterday's video I called it Peru for whatever reason, but I meant Palau. The blockchain company has been pushing hard into the CBDC space since piloting its CBDC private ledger aimed at central banks in March of 2021. So not going to talk about this in depth. The bigger piece of news here is that Ripple's senior advisor, Welfare, who handles CBDC Europe and global partnerships, responded on the same thread, teasing that there could be more CBDC announcement in the next few weeks. So he just mentioned this a couple of days ago, and he's saying, look out, in the next few weeks, we are probably going to get more CBDC type news coming from the Ripple camp. And as we know, the company has become increasingly active in the development of central bank digital currencies since piloting its XRP private ledgers in March of 2021, providing a platform for central banks to securely issue central bank digital currencies. Just last week, Ripple was identified as one of the initial participants of the Technical Sandbox program launched by the United States-based think tank Digital Dollar Project, aimed at exploring the potential technical and business ramifications of a CBDC in the United States. Ripple also joined the European think tank Digital Euro Association as a supported partner in February to jointly drive the development and growth of CBDCs and the digital euro. In September of 2021, Ripple Labs announced it was partnering with the Royal Monetary Authority of Bhutan to pilot a central bank digital currency in the South Central Asia Kingdom to issue and manage a digital nologram. That is the name of their currency, aimed at improving cross-border payments. So we've got a lot of news coming out. I mean, we know Ripple has been doing this. I think the more interesting point is that they are doing it more than we think, and there are going to be more announcements coming down the pipe in the coming weeks, at least according to Anthony Welfare here. So he works at Ripple, and this is going to be great. He did also tweet out this video here, part 1. Learn more about Ripple CBDC solutions, which are based on a private ledger, which is based upon the XRP ledger technology, a proven blockchain that has over 70 million transactions in the course of about 10 years. And then part 2 of the video is down here. Learn more about Ripple CBDC solution built on the okay, so just the same kind of thing. Part 2 of the video down here and part 1 up here. And guys, all these are going to be included in this article, this Cointelegraph article that I will link in the description of the video. I link all the articles in the description of the video, so anything you see on my videos, you will be able to find in the description of the video. Wanted to thank Michael Branch for posting that. Now, Ripple is ramping up. The other day, I talked about Russia and Ripple and that potential connection, their 2018 pilot project. If you guys didn't catch yesterday's video, I do suggest you watch it. I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. Well, here's some breaking news, guys, coming from Gold Telegraph. Russia is in talks to several friendly countries about launching clearing platforms for cross-border settlements in stablecoins. Remember I said gold stablecoins were coming. We'll get to the gold part in a second. But this is just breaking news from less than a day ago, guys. 15 hours ago, as per the time of this publication, Russia's finance minister has reportedly begun working with governments of friendly nations. So you can tell the kinds of countries that Russia's working with, not the Western world, obviously, but friendly nations. So according to a Tuesday report from Russia's state-owned news agency, the deputy finance minister said that the government was looking to create the settlement platform to avoid the use of the US dollar and to avoid the use of the euro. So they're spelling it out. They're telling us flat out, we do not want to use these currencies any longer. The finance minister reportedly said the Russian government would need to impose additional regulations to enact the platform between itself and friendly nations. One of them is possibly China, Belarus, and North Korea. Here's a quote: "We offer mutually acceptable tokenized instruments that will be used on these platforms, which are essentially clearing platforms that we currently are developing with countries. Stablecoins can be pegged to some generally recognized instrument, for example, gold, the value of which is clear and appreciable for all parties involved." So Russia, realizing the Ponzi scheme that is the US dollar and other fiat currencies, and looking for a more stable peg. So gold has obviously been around in a monetary system for hundreds, if not thousands of years. And so, they're looking to get on the BRICS, let's say, for sake of argument, the BRICS countries and their allies looking to change their system. They're already creating a new settlement system, and it's looking like all this value is going to be pegged to gold. Now, we also got this, guys, just from today. Russia's Gazprom CNPC agree to use the ruble and the yuan for gas payments. And we've heard in the past that Vladimir Putin now wants to get onto a gold standard for the ruble specifically. I did a video on that a few months ago. I will see if I can find it and link it up here in the top right-hand corner for you. But this just came out today, okay? State energy giants Gazprom and China National Petroleum Corporation signed several agreements on Tuesday, including on the use of Russian ruble and Chinese yuan to pay for Russian natural gas supplies to China. The agreements were in addition to a February deal between them to increase gas supply from 2023 via the eastern route of a China-Russia pipeline, bolstering an energy alliance between these two countries. So this is what's happening, guys. It is happening right now. Again, this from just today, September the 7th, 2022. Moving along with the same theme of gold, Russia, China, and their allies looking to get on a new standard. Gold Telegraph posting this: central banks are continuing to stockpile gold. Well, I guess the West realizes what the heck is happening here, and they realize, hey, I guess we should probably hedge our bets because this financial system is going to collapse, and we need to have some kind of safeguard. We need some kind of insurance. Global gold reserves held by central banks increased by 37 tons in July. So Gold Telegraph posting this, people are starting to catch on. Here's the source. I'm not going to get into the source, but again, everything is linked in the description of the video if you guys are interested. So then I got to ask myself, if central banks around the world are hoarding gold now, and if they see, okay, look, maybe Russia and China are going to win this financial war, should we be prepared? I mean, considering they are stocking up on gold reserves, it sounds as though they are already trying to prepare. It doesn't say which countries, maybe in the article it does. That point doesn't really matter. The point that does matter is that they're realizing this could be a new standard. We got to be ready. And so to that point, I got to bring this up, guys, from Digital Asset Buy, a great interview here with John Butler. Will the US have to return to a gold standard? Listen to this clip and then we'll talk a little bit about it.
Right. The fact is that we're not going to, no one's just going to wave a magic wand and somehow get us back onto a gold standard. It's not going to happen that way. It might be quite disruptive. It might be only mildly disruptive depending on how it's done. But you still have to go through a transition period. The transition period will have to reprice gold to a level which allows it to be valued vis-a-vis the global asset base and global trade volumes in a way that implies equilibrium. What I mean by that is that today the gold price is too low to allow markets to clear because assets are overvalued vis-a-vis gold, and you need to rebalance the global economy such that you don't have these imbalances, which are huge, right, as a result of all the dollar accumulation as reserves through the decades of Bretton Woods. So the gold price needs to rise by an order of magnitude in order to allow that system to work. So you go through this phase transition when the price of gold has to rise by an order of magnitude. In my book, I go through some calculations what that order of magnitude would be. And indeed, they're based on calculations that have been made before by other economists, including under Bretton Woods. I mean, would you believe, we take it for granted today. We think, oh, gee, Bretton Woods is a stable system. It just worked. Nobody questioned it. That's not true. There was lots of debate and discussion during already the 1950s, but in particular the 1960s, that the U.S. money and credit supply was growing too quickly to be credibly backed by gold anymore and to allow Bretton Woods to function. And so there was already this dispute going on that gold was going to have to be revalued at some point. And indeed, gold was revalued before Bretton Woods broke down completely. They tried to go through a revaluation process, but it just wasn't enough. It didn't properly rebalance international trade, and it all blew up in the end when the U.S. basically lost patience with the rest of the world. So, that's how it happened then. But back then, the world was still very unipolar in political, economic, and military terms. It's far less so today. So I think today, the reevaluation that gold would have to go through to imply a stable international monetary equilibrium is huge. And by implication, according to my calculations, you're talking something in the region of about $50,000 per ounce being a reasonable market clearing price for gold if you fully go back to a gold-backed international monetary system.
$50,000 per gold ounce if we want to actually use a gold-backed standard for a new financial system. Now, putting this into context with what Russia is already doing and the fact that, they're working on a settlement system. They want to tie things to gold, for example. They've already been talking about this and have been since February, as soon as the Ukraine-Russia conflict began. They already have a partnership with China. So China is one of the biggest economies, the second largest economy in the world, on track to be the largest economy in the world. So this is all coming to a head now. Will gold be repriced? Let's also not forget that gold has been manipulated. There's probably no other topic in the gold and silver markets which incites heated debate more than the subject of precious metal prices being manipulated. That prices in the precious metal markets are manipulated is not just speculation, it is fact. A fact made clear again recently by the CFTC ruling against investment bank Merrill Lynch, Commodities Inc. for spoofing price of gold and silver futures contracts on the COMEX exchange. I will leave this in the description if you guys are interested in reading further. There was also the JP Morgan Chase debacle. They operated for years as a corrupt group of traders and sales staff who manipulated gold and silver markets for the benefit of the bank and its prized clients. A federal prosecutor told jurors in Chicago, and this was back in, when was this, 2020? This was just a few months ago, July 2022, and this article was from July of 2019. So precious metal prices have been manipulated, and so, when they talk about this whole idea of repricing gold, well, right now gold is sitting at about 1,700 US per ounce. A lot would suggest this is artificially low. So if we get a new monetary-backed system, what is going to happen in the United States once we see XRP clarity and XRP starts moving all the money? As a matter of fact, even if it doesn't get clarity in the United States, XRP is so globally used otherwise, or will be globally used otherwise, that if it has to move money that is now pegged to gold and assets and everything pegged to gold, well, everything is going to be tokenized on the blockchain. So XRP will definitely have its work cut out for it. And just to reiterate that point, Tony McLaughlin, guys, he's from Citibank, and he's also a policy lead, I think, at the Digital Pound Foundation. He actually said this in an interview as well. All financial instruments will live on blockchains and be tokenized, and that would create this platform of innovation. This one courtesy of Crypto Eddie here on Twitter.
And I think this gets to the heart of the project, which is testing out what I call the tokenization thesis. So there's this idea that in the future, all financial instruments will live on blockchains and be tokenized, and that would create this platform for innovation.
All financial instruments will live on blockchains and will be tokenized, and a new gold standard is likely going to happen for the BRICS nations and their allies. Unfortunately, it looks like a game of catch-up where the United States are going to have to play along, and so moving all the money on a tokenized blockchain, well, XRP, it's the standard for that. And if gold is now more valuable than ever, if it does get repriced, think of how much more one XRP is going to need to cost in order to move all the money efficiently. It's got to be a high price in order to move all the money, as per David Schwartz. That's just his opinion and my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.